Hi guys, it's Andrew, and I wanted to give you just a little bit more information about kind of what's happening with the Wayfinder. I've been shown some very interesting journeys to kind of give you a bigger picture. Now, of course, on the personal level, what you're going to be doing is what I described, the hero's journey, unlocking your soul's purpose. And we talked a bit about the events in your life being like the stones thrown into the pond of time and space, and then traveling back in time to witness the stone, see its effect on your life and change it. And that's still the underlying process. But this is taking place in a bigger context, and I wanted to explain that to you in case you'd find it interesting. So if you look at this blank screen here, that is like time and space, which is, pure potential in all direction. Anything and everything is possible in that space. And then when you're born, when your soul comes into existence, that actually creates kind of an hourglass shape in time and space. So if we look at it, it looks kind of like this. You've got the top of the hourglass, you've got the bottom, this would be the future, this would be the past, and then you actually have the shape. Because what happens is, out of those infinite potentials, it necks down to, this moment in time where only one thing is happening. And then that sort of one thing then goes back out into this, vast, in effect, infinity. So what actually happens is that your sort of soul's trajectory, in one sense, could be seen as almost like a pickup stick or a line that goes through. That, what happens here and what the chain of happenings going out from the present through the past creates kind of like an axis in time that then shapes your future going forwards. And if you had a different axis in the back, you would have a different axis going forwards. And then the other thing that happens is that as this is sort of the present, as the present moves forward in time, you get a new ring, which, kind of creates a new hourglass shape in space and time. Okay, so that's one of the motions that's taking place. So the other thing that's going on is that if you look at, you've got the hourglass in time and space with, kind of your soul's journey. If you actually look at that journey in greater detail, one of the ways it can be looked at is that you have sort of a fulcrum point and you have this arm on it. And the events in the past, something big happens, and that pushes the arm down, which then adjusts, the direction it's going from there. It balances itself out, and, that event in the past gets adjusted, and that makes kind of a new trajectory going forward. And so, as events add up here over time, it is constantly shifting and changing where this is pointing, but always going through that center point, that kind of fulcrum point of the present. So you've got the past, you've got the future, and so the past is always kind of adding up to shape the direction of the future. That's one of the ways that it was shown to me. So that hourglass with the kind of, the rays of time and space, or the rays of causality going through it, the rays of your life going through it is one pattern that I was shown. The other one was a different sort of an image of what was called the Well of Souls, which is also connected to the pool of life and death. But this was literally a well where there was sort of a circle of water, going down, this well full of water. And so again, the water held the past, and then what was coming up was kind of a shaft of light, almost like a searchlight beam, projecting into the future, into these kind of infinite possibilities, or illuminating a trajectory through the future. And then again, we could actually journey to this place, and at this point, you can go into the past. And that's what we do when we go to the pool of life and death, where you go and hold a stone for a particular lifetime, and its story sort of is told to you, and then you can witness it and work with it. So in a sense, this is metaphorically or spiritually where the stones are held, the stones that go splashing into the pond of time and space. And we can literally go down and pick up, a stone from this area, bring it up to the surface, look at it, work with it, and then place it back where it's held, again, outside of time and space. So that is the essence of the method and the technique we'll be using, is that we'll be journeying to those stones. And then if you think back to the fulcrum, is, the stones of different sizes are what's causing that balance, not the balance point, but that trajectory to alter itself. So as you alter these stones, you will be altering the kind of direction of that ray of light. So the last way to think about this is, again, if we go back to the hourglass of infinite possibilities in the future, necking down to, the present. So there you are in the present, and this was the trajectory you were on because of some sort of event here that pushed things in that direction, causing it to go in that direction. Okay, so you go back to your soul contract or your soul wound, and you shift it. So you actually create something that's doing that. It's moved over to there in terms of its effect on you. So again, it's going through the present, and it charts a different course into the future. So granted, this is all, very, very metaphorical, but I think it is giving a hint at the nature of the work that we're doing, or how the work that we'll be doing works. So I just thought I would give that to you as, give you sort of a context to understand what's happening. These tools take you to these stories in your soul's history and allows you to not just, change your understanding of the story, but you are literally changing the story, which then changes, the outcome. We'll be meeting in a week, and be prepared for some exciting things to happen. Okay? Take care. Goodbye.